Thank you very much, Thank you very much, Antonio. I'm really delighted to be joining you all today. As Antonio said, I work at the University of Mary Washington in Virginia. I'm an instructional technologist. And this semester I am teaching, actually for the first time, a digital storytelling class, which I am collaborating quite a bit with Jim Groom on. And what I'm going to be showing you today, Yahoo Pipes, is, Antonio gave a great description, sort of a visual programming interface for working with web-based data. And I want to just be really clear right off the bat that I am not I don't like to call myself a programmer because that would suggest that I have any sort of training or expertise, when in fact I am what I like to call a hack. I basically have learned my way around a lot of different web tools, and particularly web development tools and techniques, because I needed to, because I was working on projects here at the university in collaboration with faculty or students that required some sort of programmatic elements. And one of the lessons that I think is really important about Yahoo Pipes is that I actually have been tinkering with it for years, completely unsuccessfully, until this semester, really, when I finally had a project that that really lent itself to this particular tool. And once I had that, and once I was working with that project and in this tool, suddenly the stakes were a little bit higher. I had to push myself a little bit harder to learn how it worked, and voila, I was able to do so. But if there's any lesson to be learned in that, it's that all of these tools and technologies afford us so many possibilities, but very often it's really hard to fully realize those possibilities and make something of them until you have the project or the idea or the inspiration that pushes you a little bit further. So if you're interested in Yahoo Pipes after you see what I'm going to show you today, I definitely recommend putting together some challenge for yourself within the program, so that you really have an authentic experience to try and work on within the system. So let me go ahead and jump right in. You should be seeing right now a web page that is actually Yahoo Pipes, my Yahoo Pipes interface. I'm logged in right now, and so you're seeing the pipes that I have built. And I'm going to take you through these in a minute. But before I do that, I want to talk a little bit about sort of what fundamentally is behind a lot of what we work with when we're working in the Yahoo Pipes interface. And primarily, the data sources that I'm going to be showing you today are RSS based. So Antonio told me that as a part of both of your classes, the students have been becoming familiar with what RSS is, and today may push you a little bit further to understand exactly what's going on under the hood with RSS. So let's go ahead and just by way of introduction, talk a little bit about that. So here's a website for a course. This is the DS-106 course, which is where all of the digital storytelling blogging activity is sort of being aggregated in one place. So Jim's online students, Jim's face-to-face students, my face-to-face students, as well as everybody all over the world who's kind of what I like to say playing along with DS-106 are feeding their posts in here. And everybody's kind of familiar with this interface. You come to a blog and you see posts in reverse chronological order, starting at the top. Hold on just a second. I'm recording here. I'm sorry. This was rude of me. I have people in my office, and I probably should have gone in another room, but why would I have thought of that? So I just asked them if they could whisper so that our archive at the end is a little bit more intelligible. So anyway, we're all kind of familiar with this. We go to a blog and we see these posts in reverse chronological order. And what is a post? You have a title, you have a date, you have an author, you have the body of that post. Sometimes you have tags that are or categories that are associated with the post, and maybe comments. And that's a very, if you've blogged before, if you're working with websites like blogs, that's sort of a common pattern or model that we encounter. And this form of the blog is being shown to us in a browser in a way that is what we would call human readable. This is meant for us as human beings to come to a website, look at this site, and be able to read and consume this information. But behind the scenes, as you all know, there is something called an RSS feed, which if we expose it in the browser, looks something like this. I'm looking at this in Chrome, which is notoriously bad at dealing with RSS, in that it doesn't know what to do with this file. It just shows me all of this code, which is pretty daunting. And most people, when they accidentally click a link and see something like this, quickly shut the window because they're not really sure what to do with it. But those of us who are courageous want to find out more about what's going on behind the scenes. So one of the things that we do is we can take that code, and here I'm pulling a window over where I've taken the code of that RSS feed and I've pulled it into my text editor, which actually automatically sort of formats that code to make it a little bit more readable. It's still not human readable because an RSS feed isn't meant to be read by you and me. It's meant to be read by machines. It's considered a machine readable language. And so what that means is that a computer program, an application, can be programmed in such a way that it knows what to look for when it's given a data source like this. And how it knows what to look for is because as you look at this file, you'll see that it's highly structured. There are tags in here that indicate what the various elements of the feed are. So at the very beginning, I have a title tag in my RSS feed that's telling me what the title of the feed is, and it tells me what the link for the website is, the associated website. It tells me the last time this feed was built, so the last time that it was updated, what language it's in English. And then if I go a little bit further down, I will actually come on the items in the feed, which are the individual blog posts. So what we are seeing here, Alan Levine's blog post, 5 place map poems, here looks like this. It's just a structured text file with a title, 5 place map poems, a link, which goes back to Alan's blog, another link which goes to the comments on this post on Alan's blog, a publication date, there's a description, and then finally the content of the actual post, which is HTML code within this RSS feed.